What's up, guys? Basic worship chords in the key of D. So let's go ahead and make sure your guitar is tuned up and ready to go. And let's get started. So just like in our key of A video, this key of D video is going to have similar chords that we've gone over in different videos, but with different chord shapes and structures. And the reason I do that is because me personally, I shape them differently according to what key I'm playing in, because they flow better and they sound better with the rest of the chords in that key. So let's go ahead and go over our first chord, which would be our D chord. For our D chord, we're going to have our index finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. We're going to have our middle finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret. And we're going to have our pinky on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And this is our D chord. Now if you need to pause and look at these chord structures and shapes, go ahead and pause, because we'll be going over to the next chords. The next one we're going to be going over is our E minor. And for our E minor, from this D chord, if you want to hold your ring finger there, all you got to do is lift up your index finger on the 2nd fret and move it to your 5th string, 2nd fret, and your middle finger, move it to your 4th string, 2nd fret. And this is your E minor in the key of D, leaving that ring finger there where you had it. And that's your E minor. Now the next one we're going to be going over is our G chord. So again, if you want to leave your ring finger there, you want to put your pinky behind your ring finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret, and you want to move just your middle finger to the 6th string, 3rd fret. And that's going to be your G. From your E minor chord, your index finger and your ring finger are going to stay in the same position. And this is your G. Now the next one we're going to be going over is our A chord for the key of D. Now this one might be a little more difficult because you have to squeeze your fingers in kind of in a tight position. And I'll show you a couple different ways you can play this chord. One way that I've learned is to put your index finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, your middle finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your ring finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. And if you're following along, you'll notice how cramped these fingers are. And a lot of times you can't really clamp them down that well. So let's see how this sounds. Doesn't sound too good. Some of them are muted. That one's a little muted. You see, this string was a little bit muted. If you can practice that way, if your fingers are small enough to go for that shape, then by all means go for it. But another one that I've learned is you have your index finger on your 3rd string, 2nd fret. You have your middle finger on your 4th string, 2nd fret. And you have your ring finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. And you kind of make a little triangle / diamond shape with your fingers. And it creates a little more space for this chord, which makes it easier to play. And there you go. And another way that I've learned, which is, to me, it's kind of the more popular one. I've seen a lot more people playing it this way. For you, it might be different. But it's using your index finger to hold 2 strings down at the same time. So using your index finger to hold down your 4th string, 2nd fret, and your 3rd string, 2nd fret, and having your middle finger hold down the 2nd string, 2nd fret. And as you can see, it's kind of putting a little bit of pressure on my fingers. It doesn't look too comfortable because it's not. But for a lot of people that works. And I personally don't play it this way, but if this works for you, then go for it. And let's go ahead and see how this one sounds. So not too bad, but that's just because of me. However you develop your formation is how you will play it. So pick one that is best for you. And the next one we're going to be going over is our B minor chord. So for this one, we're going to have our index finger on our 5th string, 2nd fret. We're going to have our middle finger on our 3rd string, 2nd fret. And we're going to have our pinky on our 2nd string, 3rd fret. And that's our B minor. You just kind of leave your ring finger there, or if you want to play it a different way, you can replace your pinky with your ring finger and play it like that, and leave your pinky hanging out, whichever one's easier for you. You can use your pinky on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, or your ring finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. and play it like that. Now the next and final chord that we're going to be going over is our F sharp minor, what you want to do is have your index finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret, have your ring finger on the 5th string 4th fret, and your pinky on the 4th string 4th fret. And this is your F sharp minor. Now for the other key videos, it's the same for this chord as well. If you're able to, you want to use your middle finger and put it on the 6th string 2nd fret and hold that bass note. It is a little more difficult, but it further emphasizes the F sharp minor chord, and this is what it should sound like. You see how hard that is, if you're able to. And there you have it. Those are your 6 basic worship chords in the key of D. But let's go ahead and go over each one of them real quick. First we have our D chord right here. Then we have our E minor right here. Then we have our G chord right here. Then we have our A chord. And then we have our B minor. And then we have our F sharp minor with the optional bass up here. And there you go, 6 basic worship chords in the key of D. So remember guys, practice, 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 because we will only get as much fruit out of it as we sow. Now I'll be putting song names in the description so that you can practice along to, and if you get good enough, maybe even sing along with those songs. So yeah, I hope this was a blessing. May you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and God bless you guys.